Its real name is a real mouthful, Vampiroteuthis infernalis, which literally translates to the vampire squid from hell. In reality, it's not actually a squid, and it's not an octopus. It belongs to its own unique order, living in the oxygen minimum zone, which is a depth where almost nothing else can survive because the air is too thin. The vampire squid is the ultimate minimalist. It doesn't drink blood. In fact, it's one of the few deep-sea cephalopods that isn't an active hunter. Instead, it deploys two long, sticky filaments to collect marine snow, which is a polite term for the dead organic matter and waste drifting down from the surface. But its defense mechanisms are where things get crazy. When threatened, the vampire squid doesn't squirt ink, as ink is useless in the pitch black. Instead, it ejects a cloud of bioluminescent mucus that contains thousands of glowing orbs. This flashbang effect blinds the predator for just enough time for the squid to vanish. And if that doesn't work, it pulls its webbed arms over its head, turning itself inside out to expose rows of soft, fleshy spikes. Even if it does have vampire in its name, it's not immortal, but this next animal is. The Immortal Jellyfish. In the world of biology, death is usually the final chapter. But for the Immortal Jellyfish, it's more like a suggestion. This tiny bell-shaped creature has discovered the ultimate biological cheat code: immortality. When this jellyfish faces physical damage, starvation, or even just old age, it doesn't die. Instead, it undergoes a process called transdifferentiation. Think of it like a butterfly turning back into a caterpillar. The jellyfish's cells actually transform. Its muscle cells can become nerve cells or sperm egg cells. The entire organism reverts back to its earliest life stage, a polyp, basically to something like mucus. Then it attaches to the sea floor and starts its life cycle all over again. Due to this crazy process, it is biologically immortal. Theoretically, this cycle can repeat forever, meaning some of the tiny jellies floating in the ocean today could have been around since before the Industrial Revolution. They are currently hitchhiking across the globe in the ballast water of cargo ships, slowly colonizing every corner of the ocean with their eternal life cycle. For us, the term immortal is unfathomable, even living more than 300 years is. But for the next animal, that's basically their average life expectancy. The Greenland Shark. The Greenland Shark's life is basically a marathon of endurance. These are the longest living vertebrates on the planet. To put their lifespans in perspective, scientists have identified individuals estimated to be over 400 years old. That means there are sharks swimming in the Arctic right now that were born before the United States was even an idea. They live in a world of slow motion. Their top speed is a leisurely 1.7 miles per hour, and they only grow about 1 centimeter per year. In fact, they don't even reach sexual maturity until they are roughly 150 years old, putting the 40-year-old virgin to shame. Their flesh is toxic, packed with high concentrations of urea and trimethylamine in oxide to act as an antifreeze in the sub-zero water. But perhaps the weirdest part is their eyes. Most Greenland sharks are nearly blind because of a specific parasitic coat pod that attaches itself to the shark's cornea, eating the tissue. Oddly enough, the sharks don't seem to mind. In the dark, freezing depths, they rely on their incredible sense of smell to find carcasses, moving like a slow, prehistoric ghost through the deep. But did you know that there are also dragons in the sea? The blue dragon, measuring only about an inch long. Brace yourself, the Glaucus atlanticus, or blue dragon, looks more like the final evolution of a Pokemon rather than a real animal. It spends its life floating upside down on the surface tension of the ocean, using the silver side of its body to blend in with the bright sky for predators below, and its vibrant blue side to blend with the water for birds above. But don't let its beauty fool you. Even though it's tiny, the blue dragon is a real floating assassin. It specifically hunts the Portuguese man-o'-war, a jellyfish-like creature with tentacles that can be 30 feet long and packed with deadly venom. The blue dragon is immune to this venom, It eats the tentacles, and through a process that seems like science fiction, it harvests the man-o'-war's stinging cells and then uses them as its own stinging cells. It stores these stolen weapons in the tips of its own fingers, actually known as serrata. Because it concentrates the venom, a sting from this 1-inch slug is actually much more painful and dangerous than a sting from the massive man-o'-war itself. It steals something dangerous from something you can see and then uses it. But this time around you probably won't and can't see it. But if you were to somehow stumble upon this next animal, you would definitely see it. The giant squid. For centuries, the giant squid was the stuff of sailors' nightmares. You even heard it in Greek mythology. We're talking about the renowned kraken that could drag ships into the abyss. It wasn't until 2004 that we even got the first photos of a live adult in the wild. Growing up to 43 feet long, these are the largest invertebrates on Earth, and everything about their anatomy is upscaled to an extreme degree. They have the largest eyes in the animal kingdom, being the size of a dinner plate. They are designed to detect the faint bioluminescent glow of their mortal enemy, the sperm whale. Their brain is shaped like a donut, and their esophagus runs right through the center of it. If the squid swallows a meal that is too large, it can actually cause brain damage. To catch prey, they use two incredibly long tentacles equipped with serrated suction cups that can grip onto flesh like a vice. We often find sperm whales covered in circular scars, the permanent reminders of life and death wrestling matches that take place thousands of feet below the surface. It is a battle of the titans that happens in total darkness every single day. However, they aren't the fastest. That title goes to another crazy animal, the Mantis Shrimp. If you scaled a Mantis Shrimp to the size of a human, it would be the most dangerous thing in the universe. Even as it is, it's pretty much a rainbow-colored killing machine. This crustacean is famous for two things: its eyes and its punch. While humans have 3 color-receptive cones in our eyes, the Mantis Shrimp has 16. They can see ultraviolet, infrared, and even circularly polarized light. Basically all of the colors we couldn't even imagine. But the real crazy part is the smash. The Mantis Shrimp has specialized clubs that it uses to crack open snails and crabs. This club accelerates at the same velocity as a .22 caliber bullet. The strike is so fast that it actually vaporizes the water around it, creating a cavitation bubble. When this bubble collapses, it produces a second shockwave, a flash of light, and temperatures that briefly reach 4,700 degrees Celsius, almost as hot as the surface of the sun. Even if the shrimp misses its target, the shockwave alone is usually enough to kill the prey. They have been known to break aquarium glass with a single hit, earning them the nickname thumb splitters among unlucky fishermen. And last but not least, we have the Stargazer. This fish is proof that the ocean floor is a dangerous place to go for a walk. It doesn't look like much. I mean, it's a bulky, grumpy-looking creature with eyes and a mouth located on the very top of its head. It spends its life buried in the sand with only those upward-looking eyes exposed, waiting for something to swim over it. But surprisingly, the Stargazer is a triple threat of biological weaponry. First, it has a worm-like lure that grows out of the floor of its mouth, which it wiggles to trick fish into coming closer. Second, it has 2 large venomous spines located just behind its head. And third, which is the real surprise, it can deliver an electric shock of up to 50 volts. When a prey item gets close, the Stargazer uses a massive vacuum effect to suck the fish into its mouth in a fraction of a second. It is the ultimate ambush predator, a venomous, electric, camouflage trap that is always looking up at the stars while it waits for its next victim. But when it comes to our channel, you should wait for our next videos. From some of the most dangerous animals to even some mutant animals, we have a lot more adventures in store for you, so make sure to subscribe to the channel.